Hi there. Many others like you have asked, what are some popular illustrations of the Holy Trinity? Let's find out, shall we? You can discover more answers on gotquestions.org. Illustrating the Trinity is a noble goal, but it is ultimately futile. For centuries, theologians have racked their brains in a quest to formulate a doctrinally sound, fully satisfying illustration of the triune Godhead. What stymies their efforts is the fact that God is transcendent, and some of his qualities are unknowable. Trinity is the theological term applied to God to indicate his perpetual existence as three distinct persons, who nevertheless remain one indivisible God. The concept is impossible to comprehend for the simple reason that we have nothing in our world that has a corresponding existence. Despite the fact that nothing in our world can fully illustrate the Holy Trinity, several natural and mathematical analogies through the years attempted the unexplainable. One popular and simple illustration of the Trinity is the egg. A chicken egg consists of a shell, a yolk, and an egg white. Yet it is altogether one egg. The three parts create a unified whole. The shortfall of this illustration, and others like it, is that God cannot be divided into parts. The Father, the Son, and the Spirit are one in essence, but the shell, yolk, and white, considered independently, are not an egg. Another illustration is said to have originated with St. Patrick. One legend has it as Patrick was evangelizing the people of ancient Ireland. Some chieftain, tribal leaders, were puzzled about the doctrine of the Trinity, so Patrick bent down and plucked a shamrock. The three leaves, said Patrick, are still one plant, just as the three persons of the Trinity are one God. The shamrock analogy is perhaps better than the egg analogy, but it shares the weakness of possibly dividing God into parts. Another common illustration of the Trinity involves the different states of matter. The illustration typically uses water as the example: a solid, ice, a liquid, and a gas, water vapor. No matter what physical state water is in, it's still water. Its H2O chemical composition remains the same. The problem with this illustration is that liquid water, when it freezes, switches from liquid to solid, and when it boils, it switches to vapor. However, God does not switch states or modes. God the Father never switches to the Son or the Spirit. The idea that God manifests himself differently at times and in various contexts is called modalism, and it is a heresy to be avoided. Some people have found useful illustrations of the Trinity in geometrical designs. The triangle, for example, has three independent sides connected to form one shape. Another design features three congruent interwoven arcs, forming a triangle of sorts in the center. In his book, published in 1884, Edwin Abbott beautifully unframes the perspective. We cannot understand the concept of a triune being any more than the flat square could fathom the 3D sphere. But we accept the Word of God, and by faith we understand that God exists in a realm beyond our experience. In conclusion, the egg, the apple, the shamrock, the states of matter, and various geometric shapes are as close as we can come to illustrating the Trinity. We cannot completely understand God's existence. An infinite God cannot be fully delineated in a finite illustration. All right, that answers your question. What are some popular illustrations of the Holy Trinity?